The Church today celebrates the feast of St. Francis of Rome, who, even at a young and tender age, 11, wanted to devote her life to God as a religious sister. Her father wanted something else for her. He wanted her to marry. And Frances, like her father, was stubborn. I did say she's from Rome. Italians tend to be stubborn. She said to her father, "No, I want something else." Father insisted. She ended up marrying a wonderful man named Lorenzo, who saw in her a woman of great beauty and also of great faith. Frances initially tried to resist in many ways this marriage, and then through a spiritual advisor, she was convinced otherwise, to fulfill God's will and to listen and let Him be in control. And this is a consistent pattern in Frances's life. Even though she grew in devotion and in faith, it wasn't until she fully and completely surrendered herself to God's will, making God's will her will, that she learned what God wanted of her. He wanted her first to fulfill a vocation as a married woman and as a mother of 2 sons and a daughter. And then, only after many years of marriage and the sad loss of her husband and even the death of one of her sons to the plague, God called her to become a religious sister. God satisfied both vocations in her, brought children into this world through her, and fulfilled her heart with her original heart's desire, becoming a religious sister. She lived the last 4 years of her life devoted to God in this way, but all along the way, she brought many to believe in God and in the power of one who has great faith. She found such strength in an unexpected companion and friend. It was her sister-in-law, who seemed to be enjoying a very worldly life of entertainment and playing cards and games, as any woman of nobility would have to do at the time. But finding Frances weeping bitterly in the garden one day, for she and Frances and their families all lived in one home, Frances opened her heart and revealed to her Canossa, which she had truly longed for. And what Frances unexpectedly discovered to her great joy was Canossa, her sister-in-law, wanted the same. They encouraged each other to have faith, to feed the poor, to visit the sick and those in hospitals, and to pray in a private oratory that they created in a very secret area of an abandoned tower where they lived. This spiritual friendship and strength encouraged and supported each one, Frances and Canossa, on their journey to God's will and His mission for them. If you and I look at our lives, my dear friends in Christ, we'll notice that there have been friends along the way who have helped us grow more closely to God, or perhaps we were a friend to someone else, and helped them grow more closely to God. That's our baptismal call and our baptismal obligation, to lead others to Christ and to fulfill the will and law of God by being truly a friend. Doesn't Jesus say to His disciples, "I no longer call you servants, now I call you friends"? And He says it after He has shared with them His body and His blood at the Last Supper. You and I, my dear friends in Christ, we have shared Christ's body and blood in the Eucharist. We are His friends. We need to act as faithful friends act and bring others to Him so that He too might be their friend and they too might be His. So, my dear friends of Christ, let us thank God for the friends we've had in this life who have led us to Him and let us truly be a friend to Christ. Because in the season of Lent, he's learning that he has fewer and fewer and fewer friends and more enemies. Let us, you and I, be a good and true and faithful friend to him by making space for grace.